Today we are here to talk about the book 100 Reincarnation Cases in Pingyang with the author, Mr. Li. Mr. Li, how are you today?
I'm great.
Excellent.
Yeah, how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. So, Mr. Li, can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
I was born in 1970s in Shandong province. It's a coastal province in China. I was a lawyer for a short time, also a book developer for children. But in recent years, about 4 years ago, I began to study reincarnation. Traveled a lot of places in China, usually some remote areas, and have found out 100 cases who claimed that they have previous memories. So I went to there and interviewed in person with them. Also interviewed a lot of related people for each case, like their current families and their previous families, and other people associated, like their past life husband or wife, and siblings and children. I'm astonished because these cases are quite different. They have a very clear memory about their intermission time, which is also called life between lives. So I collected all the evidence, like birthmarks and their previous photos, current photos, and their narratives, and also I recorded with a camera about the whole process. Then I wrote a book in Chinese. It's called 100 Reincarnation Cases in Pingyang, which had been published in Taiwan in January 2008. I wrote in Chinese, but this is the English edition, so both the paperback and the ebook are available in Amazon.com. Hope my English is understandable to you, because I seldom use English.
Excellent. And so, why should people read this book? Can you give me a brief summary? Of the book.
Well, I think in recent years, reincarnation is more and more popular, especially the great pioneer, U.S. Doctor called Stevenson, who had spent 40 years and collected more than 2,500 reincarnation cases, most of them in Asian countries like Myanmar, Sri Lanka, India, and some aboriginals in North America. Also some cases in Europe. So more and more people are now think reincarnation is not a religion idea. It's maybe it should be a fact. So it should be also so if it's a fact, we need to study with the scientific method, and life. I think life is far more complicated than we expect. We maybe we have another life. Even we died, we lose our physical body. So I think life is very significant to everybody, and these cases who have previous memories are very valuable and very rare. They in my book, these people have very clear memories of their intermission time, the life between lives. So it's very difficult because these cases are very rare. It's not easy for the ordinary people to to find such a person. So I think they are valuable to the significance of life. So that's why I went there to record their narratives, to let their stories, true stories, very convenient for everybody to read.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. And that's one of my favorite parts in your book, is the accounts of the intermission between their first life and their next life, or their previous life and current life. I really enjoyed reading their experiences as spirits.
Yes,
great.
Yes, that's true. That's true. This is also my biggest interest about their past life memories. Mm-hmm. Well, we have altogether, I think, more than 3,000 reincarnation cases have been recorded in the whole world. Mm-hmm. Usually, this is done by Westerners, but actually, among those cases, only a small portion of them, these subjects have intermission memories, or only have very little information about the intermission time. So everybody is wonder what's the real life between the two lives. What's the spiritual life? What do they do in the afterworld? So this is fascinating. The most fascinating part of reincarnation cases. So this is also the central part of this book. So this book, because most of the subjects have very detailed memories of their intermission time.
Mm-hmm. And so that's what makes your book different from others. You do a lot with the intermission time, whereas usually it's not as discussed, right?
Yeah. I think this is maybe because I don't know, because I haven't searched other cases in other countries, but in this specific area, these people have most of them have intermission memories. Yes, excellent. That's true.
Excellent. And so you had to do a lot of traveling when you were writing this book. You had to hunt down all these stories and
yes, because in the whole world, people found most of the cases who have spontaneous past life memories develop in some remote areas like countryside. So the traffic is difficult, but each person is very different from other person. You are wonder, hey, what's the next story? So it's fascinating. So I forget about the difficulty. Usually I traveled by myself from one village to other village. When I visit a village, I will try my best to persuade every people who have a PL memory to accept my interview. Then when I finished, I will ask, hey, you guys, do you know any other people who have previous memories in the neighboring village? Mm-hmm. Then I will find some volunteer to lead me to the next village, then to the next village. So altogether, I visited about 40 different villages. It's not some village. There's only about a couple of cases, mm-hmm. and some village you can't find anyone, mm-hmm. and sometimes you can find someone who is recognized as reincarnators by the villagers, by everyone, but they refuse to talk about. Mm-hmm. So you need to travel. Yes, I traveled a lot.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. And so, can you tell me what was one funny thing that happened during your travels while interviewing everybody?
Well, there are lots of. I think there are some miracle, some strange things happened, because if we real hard to experience the life, everybody can experience some funny or miracles effects. So I think there's a funny thing about my journey during my interview days. That one day I heard a very specific case. A lady, a local lady, a village lady told me, "Hey, I know a guy who died, but there are two spirits detached from the body, and each one reincarnated respectively." Oh, this is my first time to hear that someone has more than one spirit in their body. So I'm very curious about the case. And the next morning, the lady told me, "Hey, my family will have to work. We are busy, but can you come and help us? We are harvest the oranges on the mountain. We'll begin to work at 6 o'clock." I said, "No problem, because this is a very important clue, and only this lady knows the clues. I have to follow her and to work as a volunteer, because I was, in fact, I was a son of a farmer, so I love farming and countryside farming work. Yeah, I enjoy that. So I think this is a big advantage for me to interview in these areas, because this area has quite a lot of reincarnation cases, and lots of researchers, reporters, journalists. They will be in there, but totally they only dig out 10 or 12 or 20 cases. So it's not easy. You know, there are some people who have PL memories, but when you go there, it's difficult to find out.
And when you say PL memories, that means past life?
Yeah, past life memories. Okay. So I rushed to the mountain that morning. It's very early time, but I have to keep my promise. So I worked with these villagers together on the mountain. The mountain is among the frogs, so it's like a fairy mountain. It's like you think like you are living in the clouds. Wow. So we worked hard working. It's hard working because it's a steep slope. There are lots of oranges. You have to pick up cut the oranges and carry the oranges on your shoulders. There's no machine. So it's hard work. About 20 villagers work together. We worked about then 6 hours passed. It's noon. It's 12 o'clock. I think it's time for lunch. As a volunteer, I have worked for you about 6 hours. I'm very hungry. I think it's time for lunch. So I asked the owner, hey, now it's 12 o'clock. Can we go back and have a lunch? Then I'm very shocked about his answer. He told me, "Hey, no. Our tradition is if you help somebody to work as a volunteer, you have to work 8 hours from 6 o'clock to 2 o'clock p.m." Oh my God! I'm almost exhausted, so I have to continue to work another 2 hours. But it's paid off because after the lunch, the lady kept her promise. He led me to visit the person who died, and there are two spirits detached from his body, and each one reincarnated respectively. This is very rare. I think very rare in the whole world. They only heard only one case have been discovered in the Western world. Maybe it's in India. They found only one person who has two spirits. So, but in my book, I found about 8 people. Excellent. So 8 cases with bi spirits. Okay. Bi spirits means a person has more than one spirit, usually two spirits. So two spirits occupy one person. After the death, each one comes out from the body. Excellent. So it's very rare. It's more rare than the single spirit case. So this is the funny thing. Those people in the mountain, I think they are very hardworking. They are very honest. So they are good people, I think. I love them. We went well. We got along very well at that time because I'm only one person. Most of the time, only one person. I'm a completely stranger there. But I have to dig out the cases and persuade them to interview, and also have to have new hotels to live. So you have to live with them, eat with them, work with them, and talk with them. Wow. So this life, I think, is a wonderful life. Yeah.
So you really built connections and made relationships with these people. That's really amazing.
Yes. Yes.
Great. And so I'm excited to talk more about the people who had two spirits in another segment. But any final thoughts for our listeners today before we go?
This book, why we call it extraordinary, I think it is there are lots of extraordinary cases. It's not fresh. Somebody will say, yeah, reincarnation cases, yes, we have heard some of them, but this book I think is unique. It's very different. Like there are 8 cases, for example, 8 cases who the dead subjects have more than one spirit. Okay, this is rare, and there are other rare cases. For example, there are some children. They have PL memories, and when they are before 7 years old, their spirits can easily leave their body when they go to sleep to explore the world, visit their previous families. Sometimes their previous families are about 30 or 50 kilometers away, but they can fly there to explore or eat something, of course, as a spirit. Okay, then all activities, attend some activities, then they return home and enter the body again. So they will, when they in the morning when they wake up, they will tell their parents, hey, yesterday we went to blah 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 some place and we did something, and then their parents will verify it's true. So a lot of such cases, and a lot of other cases. They talk about their details in the afterworld. The afterworld is not, well, it's I think in China it's a little different because different culture will shape different afterworld. So the afterworld, the current world is different. Every country is different, but the afterworld is also different. For example, lots of cases talk about a lot of extraordinary afterworld life. Like there's administration effects. There's a government in the afterworld.
A government?
Yeah, there's a village, spiritual village. Okay, there's a society, afterworld. It's not only spirits do nothing, but the spirits have to make a living or live in the afterworld. It's a society, spiritual society. Some spirits have to work. There's officials. There's a spiritual place. There's a spiritual like a city or even shops.
Oh, cool.
Okay, the spirits can buy something in their shops, but all of them are invisible to human beings.
Fascinating.
So this book is not a fiction. It's a true story. Why I call it true story? Because I have recorded the whole process of the interview. Everybody can check the text in the book and the video on the YouTube. I guarantee to you that all the text, every sentence in the book is 100% match to the narratives of the subjects.
Excellent, excellent. Well, thank you, Mr. Li, for your time today. And everyone, try to get a copy of his book. You can order it in paperback or as an ebook online. And thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. If you have any questions, please leave comments. I would be very pleasure to answer any of your questions. See you next time. Bye-bye.